So inshallah we're going to start. Auzubillahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. So we will learn inshallah ayat number 66 to 70 of Surah Al-Kahf today. And let's do a simple translation first. Auzubillahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir. The story so far is that Musa alayhi salam has met this person whom he was looking for. And now they both are having this conversation before embarking on a journey. So Musa alayhi salam is talking to this person whose name in the history is Khidr. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Qala lahu Musa. Musa alayhi salam said to him, to this person, Hal attabi'uka, may I follow you? Ala an tu'allimani, that upon the fact that you can teach me mimma, of that ullimta rushda, what has been taught to you of the wisdom and knowledge and righteous and guidance. So upon that person Khidr responded and replied to him, Qala, he said, Innaka, indeed you, O Musa, lan tastati'a, you will not be able to have ma'ya, with me, sabra, any patience. So whatever I'm going to do, you will not be able to have patience with me. Then he further said, Wa kaifa tasbiru, and how can you have patience? Ala, upon malam tuhit, that you cannot encompass, you cannot understand, you cannot encircle that, of khubra, the knowledge of that thing. So upon that, in the next ayat, number 69, Musa alayhi salam is replying to this person. Qala, he said, Musa alayhi salam said, Satajidoni, you will find me, insha'Allah, Allah, if Allah willing, sabiran, a person who is patient, wala a'asi, and I will not disobey, laka amra, of you in any matter, or whatever you tell me to do. So upon that, Khidr set up a condition that if you are going to go with me, ayat number 70 says, Qala, he said, Khidr said, Fa'init taba'atani, if you are going to follow me. So the condition is that, Fala tas'alni, do not ask an shay'in, about anything. Hatta, until, uhdisa, I mention, laka, to you, minhu dhikra, about its mention, or about it, the details of about that, what I am doing, until I tell you, do not ask any questions. So we'll do inshallah a breakdown of these verses. This is a conversation which is taking place between two people. So most of the repetition, and I'll go briefly cover some few things before I start that, some rules of the vocabulary and grammar, because they are being repeated here. It's a conversation that is taking place only between two people. So there is a lot of wording, I or you, and so the grammar of that is repeating here. So basically, just to recover something, that if we have these three letters, fa, ain, and lam, and the meaning that we know is to do, okay? And these three letters, important thing is that the group of the words that we call them as bab. So these are the three letters that belong to the bab number 1, or group number 1. And this group has only three letters. Fa'ala, we use the template. So if I put an alif in the beginning and combine these three letters and pronounce them alu, this is the grammar that's going to be repeating here. is I do or I will do, both present and future. Okay, and this rule is called the grammar of Mudare, where present tense and future tense grammar is combined. Okay, so this is Mudare, it's written this way. Just repeating, so because we have a lot of new people here. So this is the rule. If one person is saying root letters are 3 root letters, sound is af'ala, but based on which 3 letters, this middle letter may switch kasra, dhamma or fataha. But simplest form is af'alu, I do or I will do. But if I'm telling you are doing something or you will do, then instead of alif you use a ta before that. So this is taf'alu. Okay, and that is you do and you will do, and we will see a variation and repetition of this rule here. Okay, so that is the basic that we should keep in mind. We will be looking into that. Now what happens is that, as I mentioned, these are 3 letters and they belong to the bab number 1. There are bigger words which are made by starting with these 3. So I'm just going to give a couple examples. In bab number, for example, 4, all we do is that and add an alif in the beginning, alif, fa, and lam, af'ala. This alif is not this alif which is making the grammar here. So when we make the grammar of these 4 letters, and we are actually 3 different babs are coming, something changes here. So instead of af'ala with a zabar or fataha, it becomes ufa. Dhamma becomes there. Likewise, when ta is there, instead of fataha, it becomes ta with a dhamma, tuf'ala. So when we go in the other babs, you will see the variations of these things. But alif and ta will remain there. Sometimes it will be fatah, sometimes it will be dhamma, based on which babs we are following, because this pattern is going to repeat here a lot. Okay, so now let's go back to the beginning of the surah, the ayat number 66. Here, a very interesting thing I want to point out is that the first word is qala. Qala we have seen many times. The easiest meaning of this is he, third person, said. We don't know who this he is, but we have to look from the context. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to put the word Musa after that. This is a proper name. What this will do, if it is in the Rafa state, which it is, it's going to kill this he here. So the sentence now means Qala Musa means Moses said. Okay, so we changed, pronoun went away and noun took its place. Now I'm going to write down the word that was actually in the middle, which is la and who. La, who is pointing to a person he, and from the context, this person is Khidr. Okay, and la with a fataha we will translate as a to. Okay, so the sentence will be Qala Musa, Moses said to Khidr. Okay, but the way I have written is not exactly the way it is in the Quran. Okay, so I'm going to write the way it is in the Quran and point out something which I understand, the beauty of the language and the recitation. So if I write down originally Qala lahu Musa, this is the way it is in the Quran. Just pointing out briefly what I think is the beauty here. Okay, if you notice, is Qala and Musa I wrote down next to each other. Okay, if you pronounce lam and you pronounce meme. Okay, when you pronounce lam or only la, the lips don't touch to each other. But when you pronounce the meme, mouth opens and lips touch to each other. This is makharij. So meme, you pronounce open mouth, close mouth, like okay. So if you pronounce this one, qala, this is la. Musa, lips are opening and closing. Okay. But if you pronounce it this way, qala lahu, two lams are close to each other. It's more rhythm, more melodious, because lahu instead of here, it has been moved here. Meanings don't change much. Maybe we can discuss. There may be some subtle meaning changing, but when Qari recites this way, Qala lahu Musa, it's more smooth, more melodious. If you pronounce it this way, it will be a little bit longer and opening mouth more than once. But anyway, that was just my understanding. The meaning is Musa alayhi salam talked to this person. He asked him something, and this person is going to reply something. So Musa alayhi salam is the speaker here. He is saying to Khidr. What is he saying? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is quoting in the Quran his statement, Hal attabi'uka. Okay, it looks very big, but it has many words and its meanings is very simple. The root letters is ta, ba, and ain, taba'a. Okay, 3 letters, so we always say they belong to the group number, bab number 1. Okay, we are going to make bab number 8 where we add 1 alif and 1 ta. Okay, so if I add this thing, this will become alif ta, ta, ba, and ain. If I write down together, it becomes ittaba'a. Ittaba'a means to follow. Ittiba'i Rasul, we say all the time, following the Prophet. So ittaba'a is the word. Ittaba means to follow. Follow what one person is doing, you follow him, or some person is doing something, you follow step by step. In many cases, the word ittaba is that what one person is doing, you do the same thing. Or in this case, what he is saying that whatever you are going to go and do, I'm just going to stay with you. So this mane ittaba. Okay. Now, the word is ittaba with the alif and the kasra. That's the original word. Now, as I mentioned to you, that if remember the word I wrote down, af'alu, I do. So if I make that grammar here, this alif I put in the beginning and change this to dhamma. So when we do that, this alif is dropped. So it becomes attabi'o. In this case, the present tense will carry a kasra. So attabi'o. Attabi'o means I follow. Ka means you. So attabi'o ka, I follow you. Hal brings a question mark. So when you read them together, it will be can I follow you? Or may I follow you? Hal is bringing a question in the statement. Attabi'o, I follow. Ka means you. So Musa alayhi salam is saying to Khidr, can I follow you or may I follow you? Then he further says that what is my intent of following you? The word is Allah. Allah means on or upon. Or you can translate this regarding or for the fact of. In multi ways you can explain that. And then what he is saying, why is that I want to follow you? An tu'allimani. Looks big, but it's a very simple wording here. First of all, an means that. And an will do something. Then the root letters are ain, lam, and mim. Alama means to know, alim or ilm. But this is bab number 1. If we go to bab number 2, we put a shadda on the middle letter, so it becomes allama. Allama means to teach. So alama means to learn, allama means to teach. It becomes an activity of two people. Somebody is teaching somebody else. Now, as I mentioned to you in the beginning, that if you put a ta in the beginning, it becomes you do. So I put a ta in the beginning of here, and that ta I mentioned should carry a dhamma. So it becomes to'allimo. To'allimo. To'allimo means you teach. Simple meaning is that you are teaching, or you will teach, or you teach. To'allimo, okay? Tufa'ilo. Now this an is going to make one change. It will change this to a fataha with the meaning that if I change this to a fataha, the meaning, one of the meaning that I would say will be may. Instead of you will teach me, you may teach. And then ya means me. Okay. And to separate these words, we put a noon a waqaya, which we talked last time. So it becomes ni. Noon with a ya is ni, which is me, and this is written in the Quran, noon with a kasra here. Okay. So to'allima and this ni. Ni means me. You may teach me. An that to'allima, you teach or you may teach. Ni means me. So he's saying, my purpose of my intent of joining you is that you may teach me. What is that you may teach me? Mimma ullimta rushda. He is telling him, mimma means of that. Min or ma, two words put together makes mimma. Mimma means of that. Okay. Now again the word is fa'al. If you have the grammar of fa and lam, and if you put a ta, this becomes you did. Okay, so ta brings the meaning of third person and past tense. So second person you, second person one singular and past tense. Okay, so allama, starting with the root letters of allama, we just learned that means to teach. Okay, so if I put a ta at the end, it will become allamta. First cut will be allamta. Allamta means you taught. Allamta, you taught. You and the past tense. Once you change these two things, you change to a dhamma, and it was a fataha, you change to a kasra. So it becomes ullimta. Lam becomes kasra. This becomes a passive. So that's how you make active to passive. You change dhamma and a kasra here. So allam, actually shadda is on the, yeah, you're right, this one. So allamta, it became ullimta. Okay. Ullimta means you have been taught. Allamta, you taught. Passive is you have been taught. So what he's saying, that what you have been taught, Khidr, I want to learn that thing. What special knowledge or wisdom you have been taught. And he is not saying who taught, but it's understanding that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has taught you some special knowledge. I want to learn. So can you teach me that? I want to combine, I want to join you, I want to follow you, so I may learn, or you may teach me what you have been taught. Then the word is rushda. Rushda is root letter are ra, sheen and dal. And rushdun is the noun. Rushdun means knowledge or wisdom or guidance, or it's a multiple meanings. So whatever you have been taught, can you teach me? That is, he is requesting to Khidr, Musa alayhi salam. Okay. Then Khidr is replying to him. Qala innaka lan tastati'a ma'iya sabra. So Khidr is saying, Qala is pointing to Khidr, innaka, indeed you. Inna means indeed, and ka means you. And ka is pointing to you, to Musa alayhi salam. So he is addressing Musa alayhi salam, he is replying. What is he replying to him? The root letters are ta, waw, and ain. Ta. One of the meanings is atat, or to submit. Okay. So this is Bab Fa'ala Bab number 1. Bab number 8. We will go and look at the istati, alif and sin and ta. Ista. Okay. So this become istata, and this word is known also in common istita'at. Okay. Istita'at means to have the ability to do something, to be capable of doing something. So istita'at, root letters are these, and this is Bab number 10, not 8. So in the Bab number 10, like ghafara, istaghfara, you put ist in the beginning, so it becomes istata, and the word tastati is from istita'at. Ta in the bring means you. You are able. Tastati'u, so the first time you make the word, ta is you, and tastati'u. So the last word, last letter always have a dhamma on it, tastati'u. But when you put the lan does few things. Lan makes the meaning never or negative, and also changes this to a nasab or fatha state. Okay, so it becomes tastati'a. Okay, lan tastati'a, you will never be able to. So this is the reply of Khidr, that indeed you will never be able to do what? Ma'aya means with me. Ma'a means with, it's a zarf makan, and ya means me. Ma'aya means with me. If you go with me, you will never be able to have what? Sabrun. Sabrun is patience, but it is coming as the maful of tastatiya, so it will become sabran instead of sabrun. So that's what he's saying. You will never be able to have patience with me if you go and follow me. So now he is further saying that he's giving the reason that why is that you will not have a patience with me if you go with me. In the next ayat number 68, he is giving the reason. Wa kaifa tasbiru. So kaifa, wow means and, kaifa means how. It's like a kafiyat, condition. Kaifa means how. Okay. Again, the word is sabara, swad, ba and ra, to have patience. And as I mentioned that if you put a ta in the beginning, it becomes the grammar of you. Okay, so this word becomes tasbiru. Tasbiru means you have patience. Wa kaifa tasbiru, and how will you have patience, or how would you be patient? Allah means upon, or regarding, or of the fact. Of this, what is he trying to say? Malam tuhit bihi khubra. Okay, ma means that. The next word is ha, waw and ta. Hauta. This is again Bab number 1, fa'ala. So I'm going to make Bab number 4, where we just add an alif in the beginning. So it becomes alif, ha, waw and ta. When you pronounce, this waw sounds like alif, so it becomes ahata. Ahata is, we know the ahata is also a circle. So ahata means to encompass something, encircle something, means to take a full understanding of something, is to do the ahata of something, encompassing something. So that's the meaning of this word ahata. And then ahata is also circle, which means you have full control of what is inside the circle. So he's saying that ahata, and then again do the same thing. When you apply the grammar of Bab number 4 with the ta in the beginning, which is you, and in this case, as I said, ta will carry a dhamma. So ahata tohito. So the word becomes tohito. Daraba yadribo, or when in this bab it is tohito. Okay. Now there is a lam before that. Okay. Lam makes it negative, not, but lam does one more thing. Lam looks at the last letter, and if there is a dhamma or a pesh, it changes to a sukoon. Okay. So you have ta with a dhamma, ha with a kasra, and you have two letters with the sukoon or jazam, you cannot pronounce them. So what you do, you throw away the weak letter, ya. So what is left is to hit. That's the word in the Quran. Tohit, lam tohit, you will not encompass. You will not be able to understand this thing. Okay? Lam tohit. So you start with the hata, then ahata, then tohitu, then you put a lam, it will become tohit at the end. Okay? So he's saying, malam tohit, that you will not be able to encompass. Bihi, of it, or of that, or whatever I do. Khobra, this is a word that we don't use in Urdu, but it's an Arabic word. Kha, ba, and ra are the root letters. And the only word we use is khabr. Khabr means news. But khobrun has a different meaning. When you put a pesh or dhamma on this kha, khobrun means knowledge. Okay. And when he's saying malam tohit, you will not be able to encompass, this becomes a maful, and when it becomes maful, two dhammas change to two fatas, and you put an alif and pronounce khobran. When you stop, it is khobra. So he's saying that something, some special knowledge that you will not be able to encompass, you will not be able to comprehend, you will not be able to understand, and if that doesn't happen, how is that you will be patient with me? You will lose your patience very soon. Then Musa alayhi salam replying in the next ayat. Qala satajiduni. These are very simple words. Qala, he said. This time Musa is saying. Now the word is waw, jim, and dal. Wajada are the root letters. And the word we know, mawjood, is from the same. So wajada means to find. Mawjood is something that is found. So wajada means to find. Okay. So we are going to apply the same. Taf'alu. Okay. So taf'alu, again you put a ta in the beginning. It becomes you. Okay. So this will become tajvido. Tavjido. Okay. Waw is a weak letter. We will throw that away. So this becomes ta, jim, and dal, tajido. Tajido means you will find, or you find. Okay, here we will use the future meaning of that. Tajido, you will find. Okay, now seen is used to bring the near future. Okay, means in the future, but very near future. Satajido, you will find. Soon you will find. Okay, again put a ya, that is me. Again put the noon separation or noon wiqaya. So it becomes satajiduni, you will soon find me. Okay. Qala, Musa alayhi salam said to Khidr, satajiduni, you will be able to find me or you will find me. After this ni, there is the word in, which is the word of inshallah, but this has a alif and a kasra. Underneath a hamza, and this alif will force this ya to stretch on mad. So that's the reasons satajiduni should be pronounced because of this in. In sha'Allah. In means if, and this word we use all the time, but I just want to mention that root letters are sheen, ya and hamza, and this means to will or to wish or to want. Okay, and if you put 3 fathas, it becomes shaya, and the sound of this ya with the fatha will be sheen and alif. So sha, this is just, don't write the hamza up this vertical line, say sha'a. In, if, and because of this you have to make a mud on that. Insha'Allahu, he wills, but Allah has dhamma on it, rafa state, so it will replace the he. If Allah willing, if Allah wills, you will find me. If Allah wills, what will you find me? Sabiran. Sabir we use all the time. The word is sabirun, sabara, and doer is sabirun. Sabara means to have patience. Sabirun is the doer or the file, but it is coming as a maful of satajiduni, so it will have 2 fathas, sabiran. You will find me, Allah willing, patient. Then he further says, wala asi laka amra. Musa alayhi salam is telling Khidr, I will do one more thing. Wala, and not. And swad, ya. This is the, these are the root letters, and the meaning of this is to disobey something or someone. Okay, Ma'asiyat is a disobedience. Okay, asa and ma'asiyat are used in Urdu also. So this means to disobey. Okay, again apply the same grammar, put an alif in the beginning, it will become I. Af'alo, I will do. So it becomes a'a, si, yo. We do not pronounce this one, so it becomes asi. Asi, I will disobey. La asi, I will not disobey. So he is saying, I will not disobey. Laka, to you. Okay, and ka is pointing to Khidr. So Musa alayhi salam saying, I am not going to disobey you. Amran, in any order or any command or in any matter. Better translation is a matter. Whatever you will be doing, I will have patience, inshallah, and I will not disobey whatever you tell me or ask me to do. So here this agreement is signed between them. Okay, that both parties are agreed, but Khidr is going to set up a condition now. So if you want to walk with me, with one condition. He says qala. Again qala, from the whole context you have to figure out yourself who is the speaker. Nowhere the name of Khidr is mentioned. This ayat says qala. From the context, Khidr is speaking there. So Khidr said to Musa, fa'in, so if you, okay, this is the same word again. Ittaba, follow. Ni means me. Again, ni keeps coming here. Fa'in, then if, ittaba'atani, you follow me. Conditional statement. He's saying, if you follow me, then you have to satisfy one condition. Fala tas'alni. So if you have this fa and lam, in amre nahi is made by la taf'al. This is the template of telling someone don't do. La taf'al. don't do. Okay. So here keep the la, and instead of fa, an and lam, put these three letters, sin, hamza and lam. The meaning of this word is sa'ala, means to ask, question, sawal, common word. Okay, so you apply that template here, this will become la tas'al. Do not ask. Tas'al. La tas'al. Ni again keeps coming for me. La tas'alni, don't ask me. Khidr is saying to Musa alayhi salam, فَإِنِ اتَّبَعْتَنِي, if you are going to follow me, فَلَا تَسْأَلْنِي, then do not ask. An shay'in, an means about, shay'in means thing. The word is shay'un with the two dhammas. Shay'un means thing, but an is the harf-e-jar. So harf-e-jar, so the actual word is shay'un with two dhammas. Okay. So here, the way it is written in this script is that this is written the way it is. Okay, shay'un. But an is a harf-e-jar, about here, that will change to shay'in. These two dhammas will go away and two kasras will come. Don't ask me about anything. Hatta, hatta means until a time. What? Hadasa are the root letters, and the word we know hadith is from the same one. Hadasa, this is bab number 1, but we are going to make bab number 4 by putting an alif in the middle, at the beginning. So it becomes ahadasa. Ahadasa means to describe, to mention something. Okay, and if I put alif in the beginning, that brings the meaning I. This alif is not used. This alif with a dhamma is for me. Oho diso, okay, I mention. Oho disa. Okay, hatta will change that. So oho diso will change to oho disa. Until I mention. Laka, to you. Minho, about it. What am I doing about that? Zikra is a zikr. Zikr is a statement or a mention. These are very simple common words. So this is the agreement between the two parties, that if you are going to walk with me, then do not ask any question until I mention to you why I did something which I did. But again, as we will see that every step of the walk, Musa alayhi salam forgot that he was supposed to keep this contract, and he questioned him, and then at the end of third question, Khidr alayhi salam decided to leave him. So story will continue inshallah. Very detailed description Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned, and may Allah give us tawfiq to understand the Quran and act upon it and follow it. Sadaqallahul Azim. So inshallah I will stop here.